All right, welcome everybody, welcome, and welcome to the training. So Rachel today is going to be teaching us all about real people, real results, and what to do with the real people, real results group beyond adding people to the group. So there is method in the whole concept, and she's going to go into a deep dive with that. And without further ado, I'll hand over to Rachel. So welcome, Rachel.
All right. Well, thanks, Mike. And how's everybody doing tonight? Everybody good?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So I gave you a list last week, the process for prospecting. And so I said over the next several weeks, we would kind of take it and break it down. And so it's not going to be a long training because the only thing that we're going to talk about tonight is real people, real results. So I'll just kind of go through kind of the logistics of it, and then we'll just open up the lines and you guys can ask questions that maybe you need the answers for, or as somebody is watching the recording, if you have a question, chances are other people have a question too, right? So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Rachel. I've been with Isagenix a little over a year and a half. However, I'm not new to this profession. I've been in network marketing, building big businesses for almost 17 years. So I was with my first company for 10 years and did really well, which is where I met Lynn and Michael. And then my second company for 6 years, and Isagenix is literally the cream of the crop, you guys. This is the best company. I just love it so much. I love corporate. I love the way they do things. I love the way they treat us. I love our team. I love the products, and I love the compensation plan. And we just need to get really, really good at the process, right? And the only way to get good at the process is practice. And so once we kind of get through the next couple of weeks, you should have the process down perfectly, and don't wait until we have it all down to start practicing. You want to start practicing right away. And, you know, it might feel awkward. It might feel like, oh my gosh, I've reached out to like so many people and nobody's responding. I just want you to know that's totally normal. Totally normal. And I was just saying, I don't know if y'all were on when I was just saying that my husband has been in sales forever. And so, you know, he's like, it's 100-to-1. You send 100 messages out, you're lucky if you get one response, because that is the statistic. So, but we'll get more than one. I mean, you know, we always do. But just think big like that. Don't think that I'm going to send out 5 and get disappointed if you don't have anybody return on that. You want to send 10, you want to send 20, you want to send 50, you want to send 100. And so the best way to do that is just start building up your friends list on Facebook, and also print out that list so that you have a hard copy of it right in front of you as you're going through and sending people messages. Don't prejudge. Don't say, oh, this person's super successful or this person doesn't need this. We go through those things in our head. We always do, right? We can rule somebody out very quickly with our internal logic, right? So you want to make sure that you just don't prejudge and you send a message to every single person on your Facebook list, okay? And then the goal is you want to get out. You want to meet people. You know, and every time you go out, you want to make it a goal to have 1 or 2 new friends added to your Facebook, and then start the process with them. Because I don't like to talk about Isagenix when I'm out and about. I don't like to be that walking person where people are going to go, oh no, here she comes. I just want to get to know people. I just want them to really get to know me and like me for who I am. And then when I start the process, they already have that trust factor. Okay, so let's talk about the process. So first, you're going to print out your Facebook list. If you have not already done that, there is a specific way that you need to kind of follow in order to get that downloaded. Okay, those instructions are on the files in Rising Stars. So everything that we're going to talk about here today, including the verbiage, is on Rising Stars in the file. So make sure that you go through that. Okay, now you're going to send a thumbs up message. Okay, so that's also in Rising Stars. Now I'm going to go and I'm going to share my screen of real people, real results, just so that we can kind of walk through exactly what to do. Let me see if I can move you guys up here. There you go. Okay. All right, so you guys, can you see my little arrow? Can you guys see that? Yeah, okay, good. All right, so the very first thing that you're gonna do, and you know, just know that this might be like, oh, common sense to you, but not everybody, when they get started with isogenics, is super familiar with Facebook. So take the time to really explain it with them. The best way to do it is either you can share this because it's going to be recorded and I'll make sure that I get it up in the files as well, or you can just do a one-on-one with them. I usually try, if somebody is joining me in the business, I usually try to get on 3 different one-on-one Zooms with them, where I share my screen and I walk through some of these things. I take them through Rising Stars, I take them to the files, I specifically point here. So if you have a friend that you sent the thumbs up message to and they sent, they gave you that thumbs up, the first thing that you're gonna do is you're gonna go to Real People, Real Results that you personally have saved to your favorites, so you can always find it easily. And you're gonna add their name here under Add Members. The next thing that you're gonna do, and make sure you read this and make sure you watch Lynn's video so you know what she's saying. Okay, don't just tag people here and go, I'm sure she said something good because she's Lynn. I'm sorry, I'm unstable. Am I freezing? Okay, so make sure that you watch the video and that you're gonna take the person that you just added as a member and you're gonna tag them. So what I mean by tag, and don't assume that people know this either, is when you, after you add them as a member, sometimes you go to tag them and their name does not highlight blue. That sometimes it can take 30 to 60 seconds. So go to a different page and then come back to Facebook and chances are you'll be able to highlight their name. I don't know why sometimes it takes a little time and sometimes it doesn't. Okay, so you just wanna kind of like tag them. You wanna say, hi, John. Welcome to Real People, Real Results. I know you're gonna love this group as much as I do. Take a look around. I'll check back in with you later. I always tell people that I'm gonna check back in with them later so that when I do, it's not weird because I told them I was going to, right? So you wanna tag them right here. So what I mean by tag is when their name highlights, what that does is now they're gonna get a notification. So up here, you're gonna see that little world and you have, throughout the day, you're gonna have like, it's gonna highlight with red numbers, like 9 or 10 or 20, or anytime somebody does anything in a post that is including you, whether you commented on the post or whether it was your post, it's gonna show up in your notification. So now what I would do is I would send them a private message and I would say something like, I just tag them, right? Now I send them a private message and I say, hi, Sue, I just wanted to let you know that I just added you to Real People, Real Results. This is the health group that I was telling you about. I tagged you in the pinned post where there's a video that explains the group. So check your notifications, click on it, it'll pull you right into the page. Be sure to save it to your favorites so you can find it easily next time. I'll check in with you later. So just something as basic as that. Okay, so you're just literally word by word just telling them exactly what you did. Okay, all right, so now you sent them that message and now you're gonna tell them that you're gonna check in with them later. Now, do you guys have any questions so far on that?
I do, Rachel.
Okay.
Okay, so I kind of know the answer, but I'm going to ask the question so that it gets recorded. Mm-hmm. So where do people find the verbiage for these messages? Because obviously we don't want people typing them out every time. That would be overkill for effort. So right, I know there is an old and a new list of verbiage for copy and paste. So where do we find the latest version of all these messages so we can just copy and paste them and save ourselves a load of time?
Yes. Okay. So the thumbs up message is back there. The message for the next step, which would be the Take a Look website, that's back there. I just wrote myself a message. I'm not sure if it's still back there because a couple of weeks ago I went and I really cleaned up the files. So I will make sure that that personal message that I just kind of said off the top of my head, I say the same thing every single time. So I kind of have it in my head memorized, but I'll make sure that I put that in there as well. Okay. So I'll just call that personal message after adding somebody to Real People, Real Results, and then I'll type that in there. Okay.
Yeah, because I think that one's missing, and the one requesting a scheduled call after they've looked at go take a look. So
take a look, take a look.
But I think we need the one for adding to Real People, Real Results, like the tagging one, and the private message after tagging, and then the scheduled call one, I think, as well. But, yeah, I know there's different locations for verbiage for the Real People, Real Results site. So I was just wondering where we find the latest version, or whether you're just going to chuck it in the file section for us.
Perfect. I will make sure that I get all of that together tomorrow. I'll have some time to do that for sure. So thank you. That is a great tip, because sometimes I just automatically do it and I don't have like the in-between scripts. So I'll make sure I put that in there. Okay. Does anybody else have any questions so far on that piece? Okay, so now we know how to add people. So now what is Real People, Real Results all about? Why do we add people? So do we add people and then all the 100,000 people that are in there that are adding content, do you think that your people see that stuff? I did in the beginning. I thought, oh, wow, I'm just going to keep adding people. And I wasn't into adding content because, of course, when you first start Isogenics, it can be a little overwhelming, right? So I was just adding people, adding people, adding people. And then I understood that my people weren't actually going to see the stuff on Real People, Real Results unless they went to the page on their own, which how many people do you think are going to do that? Not many, right? Unless they're really, really interested, which is a very small percentage. So now that we added them to Real People, Real Results, it's really important that we start posting content, because I want you to think about it like a drip campaign or like a TV commercial. Okay, so when we add people to Real People, Real Results, it's not instantaneous. It's not magic. They don't automatically see the whole community of people excited about Isogenics and decide to just come on board and order, a premium pack. They have to be dripped on over and over and over and over and over again. And we know that if we're continuing to drip on them, that when the timing is right for them, that's when they're going to say, Vicky's going to be able to get me healthy, because they're seeing Vicky's TV commercial come through their newsfeed over and over and over again. And then if they see one of Vicky's posts, we want something that's going to stop their scroll. They see one of Vicky's posts, they're like, wow, this is so interesting. Now they can click on it and it'll pull them in to start looking through some of the other posts. Okay, so now let's talk about posting content. Now the best way to do that, let me see if I can move you guys to the side here again. There you go. Okay, the best way to do that, let's go to, all right. So I see, let's see. All right, this is a good one. Wow, look at that before and after. So I scroll through here every day whenever I have 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there. I'll scroll through and I will see these 3 dots right here. If you click on them, you can actually save the post. And then I'll go through and I'll go, ooh, this is a good one. And I'll read through it. I'll read it to make sure it makes sense. There's no weird typos that I want to put my name next to. And I say, oh, that's a good one too. And I'll save that one. And I'll try and go through and I'll save, maybe 5 or 10 a day. Okay, so then when I'm ready to post, see, that's how your notifications, they come up over there. Okay, so now I'm like, okay, so it's the middle of the day. I haven't made my second post yet. So let me go to my saved folders. Oops. No, it's not. The screen share is showing something different here. Let me go here. Oh, there we go. Okay, so you're going to click on your home button and you're going to go to your saved folders. Okay, and now what I'm going to do is, if I save these guys today, I'm not going to post them today, because I don't want to post something the same time that somebody else posted it in a day, because if my person decides to click on it, they're going to see it again. They're going to see that I copy and pasted it, right? And I'm going to copy, paste, and I'm going to change up some of the emojis. I might change the photo. I might change the first 2 sentences. I want to kind of take that and make it my own so that the computer doesn't actually recognize it, because if it recognizes it as a true copy and paste, it slows the algorithm down. Okay, so make sure that you're doing some kind of customization when you're copying that, okay? All right, so I'm going to scroll down and scroll down and scroll down and keep scrolling down and grab something. So I usually like to do one that has to do with a product during the day, and I do 1 or 2 testimonials, depending on what. And so that's where I get all of my content. Because in the beginning I was like, oh my goodness, I just can't come up with all that content like every day. That's a lot of work to sit down and really like think about these things and come up with these posts, right? Because some of them are so very good. And so I just take them, and everybody else does too. And so you don't want to feel weird about it, because that's what everybody does. And everybody's okay with it. It's not plagiarizing. So that's where we get the content for that. So the goal is you want to make sure in the beginning, maybe 3 times a day might be overwhelming for you, especially if you have a full-time job or you have a lot of stuff going on in your life, or if this is very part-time for you. But just start being very, very consistent. Just think about the people that you want to reach. Who do you want to see your stuff? Who have you added to that group? When would they typically be looking on Facebook? Some people look at Facebook 24/7. Some people only check Facebook at night when they get home from work. Some people check it on their lunch break. Some people check it before they go to work, right? Or on their breaks. So for me, I want to make sure that I hit everybody. So I try to be very regimented with posting 3 times a day. Okay, because I want to hit every one of my markets. Okay, so that's totally up to you. At least start doing once a day. Pick a time of day that you feel that your people are going to be on Facebook the most. And then once you get really good at being very consistent every day, because if you saw me come through once this week and then you didn't see me come through until like maybe like a week and a half later, like would I be at the front of your mind when you're thinking about your health? When you decide that you want to get healthy and lose weight, if I'm only coming through your newsfeed once or twice every couple of weeks, I'm not going to be the person that you think of. Weight Watchers might be the thing that you think of, or Jenny Craig, or I don't know what you guys have over in the UK, or another company. But it's not going to be me unless I'm in front over and over and over and over again. I need you to know when you want to lose weight, when you want to get healthy, when you're sick and tired of being sick and tired. Rachel's your girl. Okay, so be in front of them as much as you can. So that's your real people, real results. So do you guys have questions on kind of how that works and why it's really important, not just to add people, tag them, send them the private message, but also start being very consistent with your TV commercial? Does that make sense to you all?
Yep, totally makes sense. I do have a question, actually. I don't know whether you mentioned this or I was writing a note down, but when you're doing the copy, paste, and customize thing, I heard somebody once say you needed to change the file name as well. Is that true?
No.
So no, I didn't think that made sense, because I've realized that you can click on the image and then just right click and go copy and then paste it where the text goes, and it sends it straight in. You don't have to save it first and then upload it again.
You don't?
Which that's like an efficiency thing for me, so I really like that. But doing that, you don't have any choice in the file name, so I wasn't messing around with the file name. But yeah, I mean, you can just, I could probably demo that if you want me to demo that.
But it doesn't, yeah, show us if you want to share your screen and show us. I'm just curious does it show up as a share that way, or does it show up?
No, it doesn't.
Okay,
shows
I
up
always I do it from my phone because I just feel like it's so much easier, because otherwise I have a file on my computer that I can save a lot of photos, and then you have to go grab it and then copy and paste the text. But it's so easy to do from a phone, right? So you just save the photos. I've got like so many photos on my phone. And then I just copy and paste right at the time that I'm going to do that with the verbiage and kind of change things around and change the emojis. But it doesn't have there's no file name. It's just a photo.
Yeah, I mean, when I do it on a phone, I have to download it and then upload it. But what I've noticed, just as a quick tip, is if I go and find an example, let's say I want to do this one here. If I click on the image, right click, go copy image, and then in here, you obviously have already pasted the text, so your text is in here. And then you can paste, which would be Control and V, or right click and paste. And what it does is it just loads it straight in. And then you can click post. So you don't actually have to save it to your hard drive first, which is just speeds things up a little bit.
But you'd have to go back to that. You'd almost have to have 2 windows open, right? Because you'd have to go back to that same post, grab the text.
That's exactly how I do
that. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I do have 2 tabs open, one for the source content and one for this bit where I'm editing it.
Okay.
So yeah, you do need two tabs, but it saves you saving it onto the hard drive. It's not a big
Right.
deal, but it's just a little bit of a tip.
Okay.
Anyway, back over to you.
All right. Does anybody else have any questions? Okay, so this is your drip campaign. This is your TV commercial. This is not where you add people and then boom, 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 they just start signing up within days. I have people that have been sitting in Real People, Real Results for a year, and then all of a sudden, out of the blue, I get a message from them, and they are ready to go. Okay, so don't think people aren't watching when you're posting content. Some people are ready right away, and some people aren't. So next week, we'll talk a little bit about what to do next, and that would be the gotakealook.info. And so I love that now we have that middle guy. So just another reason to reach out to them and say, so tell me, what do you think about Real People, Real Results? Have you seen anything? And then, you know, interview these people. So try to get a dialogue. You just want to get them to talk back with you. So find out, you know, if they're interested in performance, if they're interested in weight loss, take notes. And then if you see a post that you think they might be interested in, another way to pull them into Real People, Real Results would be to tag them and say, hey, Susie, I thought that you would be interested in this post because it's kind of what we talked about through chat, you know. And then the next step would be to go takealook.info, just another thing for them to do to then set up that phone call. And hey, if you can get a phone call before you send them to that website, that's good too. You just want to get them on the phone. So have you guys all looked at gotakealook.info? Have you kind of gone through that whole website? What do y'all think about it?
I absolutely love it. It's genius. It does so much for us. It's ridiculous.
I know. I know. They are smart, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're so smart.
I think gotakealook.info. Hello, I was just going to say gotakealook.info is amazing. I think it's really, really powerful. And yes, there's a bit of the Americanization, which, you know, there's some products that aren't in the UK and all that sort of stuff. But broadly speaking, in terms of the ease of consumption and the amount of ground it covers very simply and how easy it makes our lives, it's a terrific tool.
Yeah,
it's a great tool. It's a great tool. So, you know, it's all about process. It's all about practice. And so we just need to try and start adding as many people on Real People, Real Results as you can. Come up with a number. So, you know, a lot of us have been on one-on-one Zooms, and if we haven't, reach out and I'd be happy to hop on Zoom and help you with a little bit of goal setting. But you want to kind of figure out what your target is. So what is it that you want? Do you want to get to manager? Do you want to get to director? Do you want to get to executive? Put a date on it. Okay, so let's say it's 3 months out from now, then back it up to what does that look like per month for 3 months in a row in order to hit that target? So what do you need to do month 1? What do you need to do month 2? What do you need to do month 3? And then you look at month 1, well, if this is what I need to do in month 1, what do I have to do weekly to make the week, you know, that month happen? And then you take that week and you go, okay, so what do I need to do daily to make that weekly goal happen so that the monthly goal happens so that the 90-day goal happens? And then you break that down into what your activities look like. And if you go into the files also on Rising Stars, you're going to see something called a 6 list. And the 6 list is something that I keep on an index card. And it's 6 things that I do every day, non-negotiable, no matter how I'm feeling, no matter how busy my day is, no matter what. This is what I do every day to build my business according to what my 90-day goal is and according to how I broke that down per month, per week, per day. And that's how I came up with this. Okay, so you want to kind of take a look at that, figure out how many people are you going to have to add to Real People, Real Results every single day in order to maybe get a couple of people to give you a thumbs up, you know, by the end of the week, so that you can reach your goal. Does that make sense?
Totally.
And you know, it could be, you could start low. So like, let's say you want to get to manager, and let's say you want to reach out to, you want to send maybe 10 messages in the morning. I like to send the messages in the morning if I have a few minutes, you know, so I make my post on Real People, Real Results. I make my post on my personal wall. I'll send out, you know, 25 messages in the morning, and then I'll get on some Zoom trainings, or I'll get on some calls with people to go through the script, and then I'll go run errands. I'll go to the gym. And then later on in the afternoon, I come back and I check to see how many thumbs ups I get, and then I start the process in the afternoon. So I kind of break my day up into 2 pieces, which may or may not work for you according to whatever it is you do as a profession. You know, maybe you have like a full-time job or something, but kind of think along the lines of kind of put together what your daily action step needs to look like for you to hit your goal. And then as you know, go, well, that was easy, that didn't take much time, you can start increasing it as you go.
Cool. Yeah, can I add something to that? So I've been in a position where I've been both full-time working and full-time isogenics. And one thing I've found since going back to work is I'm still just as productive. So when I was full-time isogenics, I was doing way too much procrastination. I had too much time on my hands. And from the sounds of it, Rachel, you were very disciplined in what you were doing. And I was up to a point. But what I've discovered since going back to work is I can get up, I can do a real people, real results post. I can go to the gym. I can go to work. And on the way to work, I can be doing my own personal wall post. And then at lunchtime, I can be sending thumbs up messages. In the evening, I can be sending go take a look messages, followed by making some calls or some coaching or something along those lines. There is time to do it if you're willing to do it. But you've got to do the work to keep your... Rachel gave me a great analogy the other day, which was to keep your business shop lights on, you have to do the 6 list. The 6 list is everything you need to do in order to keep your business going. And if you're not doing that every day, your business is closed. And if you keep your business closed for a week in a normal traditional business, that would be catastrophic. So keep doing the 6 list and keep sending real people, real results pictures out or posts out so that you are continuously having your shop open. Otherwise, people are going to not see it when they walk by. And I thought that was a brilliant analogy. So I just wanted to reiterate that.
Yep, that is right. And I heard that somewhere too. And I went, aha. You know, so you also want to kind of take inventory. You want to go back through your personal wall on Facebook and say, what is it that I look like? What is because your Facebook wall is your storefront. If you walk down if you're walking down the block and you see this beautiful window and you see, they have such a beautiful setup, right? And their windows are nice and clean and they have really good lighting on the inside, it draws you into that shop, right? Because they look like they're open for business and they're serious. Then the next window you can walk by, the lights are off. The one after that, the lights might be on, but the windows are a little dirty. They don't really have anything that's drawing you in. Maybe they have their dirty laundry hanging in the front, right? Which we know what that means. That could be some negativity on your wall. You just want to make sure that you kind of go back and you kind of look through your posts over the last week and just say, would I want to sign up with her or him? Would I be drawn to what they're doing? And am I portraying health and happiness and lifestyle? And that's what you want to make sure that you do. So I love that. Thanks for bringing that up, Mike. Does anybody else have any questions? No?
Yeah, okay. Rachel, would you mind sharing your 6 list that you have?
Sure, absolutely. Okay, so this is just kind of a basic 6 list. And depending on, my numbers are stupid. I can sit here for 4 hours and send messages, so I don't want to overwhelm you. I'm just going to keep this generic. So number 1 is post on Real People, Real Results and Personal Wall 3 times a day. Okay, so that's just something that's like 6 posts a day. But on my personal wall, the only thing that I post on about isogenics, I don't say the word, but I'll use the hashtags hashtag motivational Monday, and then I'll usually it'll be like a story that I pulled off of IsaBody Challenge or Real People, Real Results, right, with their testimony and their before and after photo, and I'll say hashtag motivational Monday goes to Tara. Tara says, and then I'll put what she says in the bottom, and I use my same hashtag or emojis that are kind of like, I feel branded to me, although you're welcome to use them, but kind of pick some emojis that you like. And then on Tuesday, I'll do Transformation Tuesday goes to John. Here's John's story with my little arrow pointing with his story and his picture. And so I do those once a day. I do that Monday through Friday. And then on Saturday, I usually just post like, you know, something that I'm out doing. You know, if I have a nice sunset or if I'm out on the boat or doing something fun, showing lifestyle. Not too much pressure on Facebook on Saturday. I just feel like a lot of people aren't, that's your least busy day on Facebook. And then on Sunday night, I do a power post. And a power post would be something, it doesn't have to have anything to do with isogenics, but you want to make it emotional. Okay, you want it to be a picture of you and a significant other talking about how grateful you are, maybe how your life has changed because of your new lifestyle. It can be business related, but you want almost to make you to get you teary-eyed while you're writing it. And that can be a little bit longer than your normal post. You want it to be a paragraph to 3 paragraphs, but with some kind of really nice photo, personal. Okay, and that's your power post. And post that between like 7 and 9 p.m., okay, on a Sunday night. And we just call that our power post. And then the other posts that are on my personal wall are just, like I said, just of the dog, of a sunset, of the beach. Like, find something that you're passionate about. Maybe it's food, you know, food, friendship, fun, anything like that. So you want to just kind of stay in front of people, right? It's just about staying in front of people, him going, wow, she seems really nice, or she seems like she's got a great life, or gosh, I would love to have the freedom she has, or, you know, just something creating some kind of lifestyle. Something that you, like I put on the Eiffel Tower today. You know, this is something I want to add to my dream board. Anything you can think of for content, okay? Take pictures everywhere you go, wherever you're at, because you're always going to need to use them. Okay, so then Real People, Real Results, we know what we post on there. Keep that all about isogenics, products, testimonies, whatever. And then the action steps on Rising Stars. So I add action steps on Rising Stars, you know, for the team, or post, you know, if there's a isogenic Zoom or something that's part of my coaching. And then I add 2 real results on a daily basis. That is my goal every day, 1 to 2 people, which means I have to leave the house. And I have to, like, you know, talk to people if I'm at the gym or at the grocery store or running errands. If I don't leave the house, then I need to. I actually go backwards through my Facebook list. So I go to the very bottom, the very last couple of pages of people that I don't see very often, and maybe I don't even know very well. And I start reaching out to them. And then I follow up with 5 people. So I make sure that I always follow up with 5 people. So it could be 5 of my customers. It could be 5 people that I've added to Real People, Real Results. It could be somebody that I've added to, you know, asked to go take a look. But I make sure that I do 5 follow-ups a day in any one of those categories, okay? They could be current or just a prospect. And then I also want to connect personally with 2 of my personally enrolled. So it doesn't matter if they're a business builder or if they're a customer. I want to make sure that I have that connection. I actually try to schedule calls so that they can hear my voice and so that we can have a conversation, just kind of a check-in. And, you know, like I said, if you're brand new and you only have 1 person, I mean, that's not going to be that hard to do. And then making new friends. So that's kind of, it's all about posting. It's about follow-up. It's about coaching. It's about building relationships with your customers, right? It's about making friends. So does that answer your question, Jack? But it's that list is all in Rising Stars as well.
That's terrific. Really, really helpful. Thank you very much. That's excellent.
But, you know, it can change periodically too, depending. You know, you can shift things around, but just make sure that you have 6 things that actually will contribute to your business every single day.
Because I sometimes think, I'm not doing, sometimes I think, I'm not doing enough, but it's like I make so many new friends the whole time. It's just a question of using the processes to help kind of move things along. So that's why it's great to have this as part of your lifestyle when you're already socially active, because it just becomes natural that it all interlinks.
Right. Exactly. And, you know, it's just really about finding your rhythm and being consistent. You know, you don't want to go all in today and then tomorrow not do anything, and then go all in on Wednesday and do a half a day on Thursday, and maybe skip Friday, and then next week you just get busy so you don't do anything, and then life gets in the way over here. You know, people notice consistency. If you don't look serious, then people aren't going to take you serious. If you're consistent and you're reliable, meaning people are you just know that I'm going to post. I'm reliable when it comes to that. They don't feel like well, what if I join her and she next week decides not to work? So whether you're trying to attract business partners or whether you're trying to attract people that feel like, if I'm going to try to get healthy, I really need a consistent coach. I need somebody who's serious. And that's the image that you want to portray, right? So that's why you have to be consistent.
Perfect.
Can I ask 2 questions?
Sure.
Yeah, the first one is, what if people come back when you sent them the message about the thumbs up and they come back and say no, they don't want to be added to Real People, Real Results?
I've never had anybody tell me, well, maybe I've had maybe one person say no thank you, and I just say, okay, I'll send them a thumbs up. And I just go next. But most of the time the no is they just flat out ignore you.
Yeah, we get
Do
that.
not take it personally. We can see their little picture. We know they saw the post. They're just ignoring you. It's okay. We all get ignored.
And then the other question, which, we have a lot of people that we know or who we meet who aren't on Facebook. Mm-hmm. So, people are going to come up against that, aren't they? They
are, which why I'm so grateful that now we have gotake-a-look.info, right? So this is perfect for people that are not on Facebook. At least we have somewhere now that we can send them. Otherwise, you could always have sent, if before Go Take a Look, or even with Go Take a Look, you can always use just one more avenue. You can send them to isaproduct.com.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And all the videos.
Yep, or isamovie.com. Yep, find a couple of videos and send them.
I could put this in the group actually, but I've got like a 73 long YouTube playlist of videos that I send out, or I have been sending out, which is very, very broad and diverse. Obviously, we Go Take a Look, and ISA Tools as well. That's an incredible tool.
ISA Tools is great.
What I love about ISA Tools is you can literally show people, like say, I've done this quite a lot recently, like getting into a conversation while I'm out and about and just talking about it, isogenics, and then say, okay, cool, I'll just ping you I'll take their number, or take their email, or both. I'll just ping you a couple of short videos, and you literally just say, hey, this is how easy it is. You just go click, 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 send them, transform your life and why isogenics, or if they're younger, start your life, or if they're female, enterprising women, and send those out like bosh, 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 just while you're there with them. It shows them just how easy it is.
Yes, that's a great point, Jack. And I love that we actually can see when they open it, right? When they watched it. So what we'll do, and I'm glad you brought that up, we can do a whole nother training just on ISA Tools.
Yeah, I think that would be a good idea.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a great tool.
There's no reason to feel like there aren't the tools, because there's loads.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Absolutely. Anybody else have any questions? Okay, so for content, everybody pull out their phone, because it's all about Facebook content, right? Everybody smile. You guys can take a picture too, and you can say connecting with team members all around the world. That's attractive, right? So everybody say, please. There we go. All right, you guys. So do you want to hop on next week at the same time? Does this time work well for you guys? And maybe we can kind of dive in, if you can think of a couple of topics or subjects that you want to, we can make a couple of mini trainings. And that way, as you're building your team, you always can have a video. I'll upload this to YouTube, and then I'll go ahead and I'll just create a file so that you can find it later.
Cool. Yeah, definitely.
Thursdays are better than Wednesdays for us.
Thursdays are better than Wednesday?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. That works.
Not everybody else, but
okay, so we'll figure it out and we'll put it on that WhatsApp thread. Yeah. And if anybody wants to do any goal setting, just reach out to me privately, and we can always just hop on a Zoom and kind of talk about that a little bit too.
Appreciate it. Hey, Rachel, when you upload it to YouTube, is it just on your Rachel Gershowitz channel?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can find any, I mean, I've got a ton of stuff on there. I just upload it to YouTube just so that we have it. And then, you know, like I said, I can put together like a YouTube, UK file in Rising Stars so that you can grab different links and I'll title them all. Or you can just go to the YouTube channel, whatever's best for you.
Yeah, I think a list would be good in the file section. That would help. I think, yeah.
Okay. Mike, you're going to get me organized, aren't you?
Yes.
Good.
I am. You're very organized anyway, Rachel, but there's one or two bits that I think need adding. They're just missing holes, and because I'm going through teaching my new people, I'm spotting them. So it's a good cleanup exercise. And
yeah, and feel free, like if you see, and Vicki, thank you so much for putting that one file in there, and I know Mike, you've gone through and done that too, but feel free if you feel like there's something that needs to be in the files. That's your group too, so feel free to put, you know, whatever you need to put in there as a file. It's totally fine. So we'll kind of clean that up and work on that together, but I'll work on these messages tomorrow, and I'll get something in there for all the other messages as well.
Okay, and before we close off, if anyone's feeling really daunted by Rachel's 6 list, do bear in mind that she's working full time on this. Right. So you just scale back the quantity of each of the different 6 tasks. So if Rachel's doing 40 messages a day, you only need to do 5 maybe if you're full time.
Yeah.
Okay, so just scale it back.
Yes, consistency is key. Not quantity. So, I mean, as you feel like you have more time, or as you feel like you get more ambitious, whatever it is for you, you can always increase that number. But even if you're doing 1 or 2 consistently in every category a day, that's great because you're creating good habits, and that's what it's all about.
Yeah. Awesome. All right. Thank you very much.
All right, you guys have a good evening.
Thank you.
All right. Bye.
Yeah, everyone. Bye.